Hello everyone, this is Lalita Singh and you are going to study science with me in class 7. Today we are going to study chapter 18 that is called forest. In this chapter you will learn about what is a forest. Forest as an ecosystem, interdependence of plant and animal in forest, threat to forest and conservation and management of forest. Okay, now just see over here. This is a view of inside of a forest. Okay, this is also a view of forest from the upper end. This is how the forest look like. So what is forest? A forest is a large uncultivated area. Okay, it is a large uncultivated area of land densely covered with tree, shrubs and herbs. It has many type of tall grasses, canes, creeper, climber. See, anything can grow over here without any pattern. Understood? Forests have perennial trees of sal, shisham, teak, banyan, neem, peepal, amla, etc. Forests provide home to different mammal, birds, reptile, insect, worm and microbes. All of them are living over here. Some human tribe also live in forest. Okay, now India is home to 45,000 species of plant and 81,000 species of animal. So it is called a mega diversity country. Okay, the plant at a particular area is contributing the flora of that ecosystem. Okay, an animal of that particular area will contribute in fauna of that ecosystem. Okay, now just understand about forest cover. See, about 3.9 billion hectare of land area of the earth is covered with forest. In India, the forest area measure only 67.83 million hectare. It is 20.65% of total land area of India. About 20% of Indian forest lie in Madhya Pradesh. Forests in India fall into three categories. Okay, what are they? The first is evergreen tropical rainforest. Second one is Himalaya temperate forest and third is dry alpine forest. So these are the three types of forest which can be found in India. Okay, now about what type of plant are present in the forest. The plant, a forest has basically annual, biannual or pre-annual plant. Annual means those plant whose lifespan is of 1 year. They are herbs. Okay, means annual means what? Annual means the lifespan of the plants will be of 1 year and they after 1 year they will die. Now the next is biennial. The plant with a lifespan of 2 years is called biennial plant. The biennial plant, in the first year of their life they grow and get mature. In the second year of life they will produce flower and bear seed. Okay, now about perennial plant. The plant that is present, basically the most important part of the forest is perennial plant. And these plants survive for many years, for several years. That is why they are called perennial plant. They take more than 4 years to mature. After that, they can produce flower. Okay, these include shrubs and trees. Understood? The perennial plants include shrubs and tree. Now about layers in a forest. What are the layers which is present in the forest? See over here. These are the layers that can be found in the forest. The lower layer over here is known as forest floor. Okay, the second tier is known as understory, and lastly the tallest part of the plant is known as canopy. The trees in the forest are of different shape, different height. The branching part of the tree above the stem is called crown. So basically this is the part of the trees which are refers to as crown. It means when we are looking up from above this is what crown is. Okay, we are only seeing the crown part of the plant from this view. Understood? The crown are of different type and different size and form several horizontal layer in a forest. These layer are divided into canopy and understory. Okay, just see the taller trees. The crown part of taller trees are forming the canopy over here, whereas the shrubs can the crown part of shrubs are forming understory. Understood? This is the understory. Okay. So basically the layers are divided into canopy and understory. Just now we are going to discuss about canopy. What is canopy? The topmost layer of the forest. It is formed by crown of the leaves and branches of very tall tree. When viewed from above, the canopy appear as a green cover forming a roof or umbrella over the forest land. Can you see this? This is what how canopy look like from above view. Now, second one is understory. The tree that are not as tall as the canopy tree form a different layer or tier under the canopy. They are forming understory. These are formed of shrubs, tall grasses and herbs. Whereas what is forest floor? Forest floor is the ground surface of the forest. It is formed by soil and remain covered with the dead and decaying leaves or fruit sheaths. Just see over here. And this is the forest floor. Okay, twigs, small herb, fungi, etc. are present over here. Therefore, the forest floor appear dark and is rich in nutrient because of the high amount of humus over here. When tree cover is thick, the forest floor is dark because light does not penetrate through the tree's canopy. And in this way, the grasses which is growing on the ground will never receive the light, and of course they will not be able to survive. Okay, now over here we are having an activity. This activity is about to take a round inside your house and observe the various things that you use every day. Make a list of those which are made from the material which may have been obtained from the forest. It means trees. Okay, find out how your daily life is directly indirectly depending upon the forest wealth. Prepare a report. Like furnitures that you are using, it is made up of wood is a part of a forest, right? So you will make a list of it. Now, importance of forest in nature. What is the importance of forest in nature? Forests are very important renewable natural resource. Renewable means they can be renewed and we plant more sapling on the ground to grow new trees. Okay, so these are renewable. Now, these are essential for the survival of all the living organism, means animal including man, and for the preservation of environment, because forests are the one which is cleaning the air, right? These are precious for country economy as well. They are useful in the following manner. The first one is purifying air. Plant purify air by using carbon dioxide in the process of photosynthesis. In this process, they use carbon dioxide in presence of light to prepare the food, and in terms releasing oxygen, which is good for us. Okay, atmosphere is released from the trees in the process of photosynthesis. Thus, the forest provide clean and fresh air for breathing and maintain a balance of oxygen and carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. An increase in the level of carbon dioxide may cause global warming. This will have serious impact on the life on the earth. Why? Because globally the temperature of the earth will rise, it is known as global warming, and if this happen, the ice present in the polar region may get melt and it will lead into the flood in low-lying areas, right? Cause death of many people. Now next is source of food. Okay, forests provide food to all the wild animals which are living over there directly or indirectly. Even if there is a lion, they eat herbivores. The herbivores are taking the food from the plants. It means indirectly the lion is also depending upon the forest. Herbivores eat plant. Carnivores prey upon herbivores. In this manner, they are interrelated with each other. Now, next is useful material. What are the useful material that we get from the forest? Forest provide us firewood, timber, plywood, bamboo, wood for paper, gum, resin, fiber, non-edible oil, honey, wax, lac. Okay, there is lot of thing that we get from the forest. These products form the basis for small scale industry. Spices like cinnamon, black pepper, cardamom, etc. are obtained from the forest. Rubber and oil are like pine oil, olive oil, fish oil, sandalwood oil, etc. are also obtained from the forest. So it means it is also economically very important for us, right? Next is medicine. Medicinal plants are sources of many medicine. Ayurvedic medicine are prepared from the medicinal plant like tulsi, neem, jamun, turmeric, aloe vera, ginger, mint, sandal, etc. These medicine have demand both nationally and internationally. Some of these products are used in cosmetic as well, and these all things we get from the forest. So it is important. Okay, regulate climate and water cycle. Forests are also playing a very important role in regulating water cycle and climate. Trees keep the air cool by evaporation of water from the leaf. We know that water is lost from the leaf in the form of transpiration, in the process of transpiration. Okay, so whenever water is released from the leaf, they are being a part of the environment, and in terms making the environment little bit cold. They also help in rainfall. When the water vapor is released into the atmosphere, they finally move in upward direction along with the hot air and form the cloud and ultimately rain. Tree maintain water cycle. They absorb water from the soil and bring water back to the soil as rain. Means they are taking the water from the soil with the help of root, and they are letting the water release into the atmosphere in the form of water vapor, which again get condensed in the cloud, in the form of cloud, and rain into the soil. So it is maintaining the water cycle, right? Next is controlling flood. Forests act as a natural absorber of rainwater. They hold rainwater and prevent its free flow. This greatly reduces the chances of flood. Trees help in increasing the level of water table due to efficient absorption of porous land in forest area. Basically, when the roots are penetrating the soil, they are gripped by the roots are the one who is sucking the water from the soil. So obviously, because of the presence of root, the infiltration process will be increased. Okay, and this, as infiltration has been increased in, and the forest is having large number of tree, so infiltration will increase so much, and it will hold the water over there and increase the water table, right? In this way, it is reducing the chances of flood. Next is prevent soil erosion. Trees are the one whose root is holding the soil particle. They prevent their free flow due to rain or flying away by the rain. This way, soil erosion is prevented with the help of tree roots. Now, check air pollution is the next point. Forests reduce carbon dioxide concentration in the atmosphere. The tree bind the soil particle together and decrease the dust contamination in the air. And the fine dust particle in the air is called suspended particulate matter. There is almost no suspended particulate matter in evergreen forest. Why? Because the soil is tightly bound with the help of root and moisture. Okay. Now, maintain supply of nutrient. Trees make soil fertile by recycling of nutrient. Okay, dead and decaying matter from dry leaf, dead plant and animal is decomposed by microorganism and fungus present in the forest floor. Okay, they release the nutrient and make the forest soil fertile. In this way, it is going to support the development of another tree as well. Now, shelter. Forests provide habitat for a large variety of wild animal. You can see these are all the wild animal which is living in the forest. You see? Okay. Jackal, elephant, snake, monkey, then frog, bird, squirrel, bat, these are all the one which live in the forest. So forest is providing shelter for them. Boars, bisons, jackal, panther, lion, elephant, etc. all live in deeper area of the forest where forest is thicker and undisturbed. They live on the ground. Snake either wriggle on the ground or burrow in the soil. Understood? This way the animals are living in the forest. Understood, class? Now, next is forest floor is occupied by spider, beetles and grubs, monkey, bat, squirrel and various type of birds like this. Okay, they are living on the tree branches or tree twig, right? Now next is it is forest is home for many tribals, like some Asian tribes live in forest. The forest provide them with food, shelter, water and medicine. Products obtained from forest are a source of steady income for tribes. Okay, now for recreation, some forests have been developed into recreation park where people enjoy camping, hiking, trekking. Wildlife reserve. Okay, wildlife reserve. Some forests are changed into wildlife reserve where wildlife and plants are protected and used of forest product is illegal, where the animal can live freely. Understood? Now next is forest as an ecosystem. We have learned about that forest is also an ecosystem because living things and their environment together form an ecosystem. So forest is having so many living things like plant, like animals, they are all living together in the forest. So living things and environment together form an ecosystem. Plant, animal and microbes are the living component of the ecosystem. They are classified into the following three categories depending upon the nature of feeding. They are known as producer, consumer and decomposer. Now, the first member of this group is producer. It is very, very important. Green plant are known as producer. Why? Because they are autotroph in nature. Green plant are able to produce their own food by the process of photosynthesis. Okay, and that is why they are termed as producer. Okay, because they are making their food. But all non-green living form on earth, they are not able to prepare their own food from the raw material. So they are taking the food from the plant. So plant is not only synthesizing the food for their own goods, but they are also synthesizing the food which is an extra amount can be used by other organism. The green plant use solar energy from the sun to make their food, and the process itself is called photosynthesis. Understood? Now about consumer, this is the name as suggested. All non-green plants or animal, they can't synthesize their own food, but they obtain their food from the green plant. That is why they are called consumer. Okay, that is why they are called consumer. It means all animal depend on plant for food and energy directly or indirectly. Okay, consumer are heterotroph based on the food they eat. Consumer are divided into following type. The first is herbivores. Herbivores means those organism which is directly taking their food from plant and plant product. They are called primary consumer because they are the one who first feed on the plant. Example of primary consumer are cow, horse, deer, goat, camel, elephant, etc. Now next is carnivores. They are flesh eating animal. They eat flesh. Okay. So they can feed on herbivores. They cannot feed on plants directly. Understood? So they are feeding on whom? They are feeding on primary consumer. So they are known as secondary consumer. Carnivores are termed as secondary consumer as they are flesh eating animal. They prey upon herbivores which was primary consumer. So they are forming the secondary consumer. Example: tiger, lion, panther, fox, etc. Next is omnivores. Omnivores are a little bit different from herbivores and carnivores. Why? Because they can obtain food from both plant as well as from animal. Means omnivores can feed on plant, can feed on herbivores and can feed on carnivores. It means they can eat whatever they get. Okay, and the example of this group is man, crow, bear, etc. Next is scavenger. Scavenger are basically flesh eating animal, but they are eating the flesh of dead and decaying animal. The leftover by the carnivores can be fed by scavenger. They are hyena, jackals, vulture, etc. Now, producer is dealt out. Producer are green plant which synthesize their own food. Consumer are those which depend upon producer for their food. Now, what is decomposer? Decomposer decomposes and destroy the dead remain of plant and animal. They return the nutrient to the soil and help in the formation of humus. Means whenever the leftover part of any animal remain in the soil for a longer period of time, what will happen? The decomposer will feed on it and break down the complex nutrient material into simpler one and mix it into with the soil, forming the humus. In this way, it is increasing the fertility of soil as well. Okay, which is the top layer of the soil. Fungi, bacteria are the decomposer of an ecosystem. So, forest is forming a complete ecosystem with its biotic, abiotic component. Now, over here we are having activity number 2. Short the below mention living things as producer, consumer and decomposer like apple tree, hawk, mushroom, carrot, dragonfly, bamboo, bacteria, daffodil, pigeon, snake, catfish and snail. Just categorize them on the basis of their feeding habit, in which group they will be. For example, apple tree, it will be a producer. Okay, understood? Hawk, it will be a consumer. Mushroom is a decomposer. Carrot is a producer. Dragonfly is a consumer. Bamboo is a producer. Bacteria is a decomposer. Daffodil is a producer. Pigeon is a consumer. Snake is a consumer. Catfish is a consumer. Snail is a consumer. Understood? In this way you can categorize them. Now, next topic is food chain and food web in the ecosystem. It is the relationship between the two organisms which is based on the food. Okay, that is why it is called food chain. Let's discuss about it. The producer, consumer and decomposer are all connected with each other in the ecosystem with one thing, that is called food. Okay, in the ecosystem, one organism eat another, which in terms is eaten by the third member of this group. Okay, for example, just see, these are the producer, grasses. Okay, these are eaten up by the deer, and deer can be eaten up by tiger. Understood? A deer can eat grass and a tiger or lion can eat the deer. Okay, the sequence in which producer is eaten by a herbivores and herbivores is eaten by a carnivores is called food chain. Okay, over here the example which is given of the grasses and deer and tiger is a simple chain which is forming a food chain. In bigger food chain, carnivores, secondary consumers further eaten by another bigger carnivores, that is forming tertiary consumer. For example, a grasshopper, so just see over here, a grasshopper over here is what? They are taking the food from plant, but they are eaten up by the bird, or it can be eaten up by a frog. Understood? It may be possible both of them can eat. Okay, the frog is later on can be feed upon by hawk or snake. Understood? In this way, what happened? It is getting complicated over here. Understood? For example, other instant, the grasses are feedden up by insect can be eaten up by bird or by snake. and this bird can be eaten up by snake, and the snake can be eaten by hawk. Okay, this is what a food chain is. But now over here, just look at this picture. It is a complex of many food chain. In this, so many food chains are linked with each other. This type of link is known as food web. A food web is a complex feeding system. In food web, several food chains are interlinked. In a forest, many interlinked food chain exist. In case one food chain is disturbed, the other food chain is there to support the animal of next feeding level. Understood? You can see lots of animals are interconnected with each other with the help of a relationship of food over here. Understood, class? Next is energy flow in a food chain. Okay, how the energy flow in a food chain. In a food chain, each link provide food to the next link. Like, just see over here, plant are providing food for grasshopper, insect, rat, and the rat is providing food for snake and hawk. The insect is providing food for bird and snake. Okay, and the grasshopper is providing food for bird and frog. Understood? So when an animal eat the plant, food energy is transferred from the plant to animal. That is why the animals are eating the plant, right? Some other animal eat that animal, and in turn other animal eat that animal, with energy being transferred and used up at every step of the chain. The movement of energy from sun passing from one organism to another is called energy flow. Energy is transferred along the food chain from one stage to next one. For example, the sun energy has been trapped by the plant in the form of food. Now later on it is transferred to the insect. From insect it has been transferred to the bird or the snake, and from these two it has been transferred to the hawk. Means from one section to second to third to fourth, it is transferred in this manner. Understood, class? This is how energy flow take place in an ecosystem in a food chain. Understood? So I am finishing this video over here. In our next video we will talk about interdependence of plant and animal in forest. Until then, have a nice day everyone.